Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to freeze panes in Excel. So I'll just jump straight into it. So here I've got an example of some data that you might have. And let's say you're scrolling down, you've got a lot of data here, and you want to freeze the top row, for example, because you lose all your headings when you scroll down. Now, this is quite common if you've got a lot of data and you're trying to find something, and then you can't quite remember what the names of the headings were. So freezing panes is a good way to make sure you always see your headings in your columns. So if we want to freeze the top row, what we do is we click anywhere in our data and then we go to the very top here and we go into view. Okay. And then when you're in view, you'll see something called freeze panes to the right hand side here. So you click here, which says freeze panes, and you click freeze top row. Okay. So you might think, oh, well, it hasn't done anything. But if you scroll down, you can now see the top names and the top headings of your columns are kind of following you down as you scroll through your data. And there you go. It's as easy as that. This is how you can freeze a top row. And I'll show you different ways to freeze the panes. Okay. So this is one way to freeze it. And if you want to get rid of it, you go back up into view, up the very top, and then you click freeze panes. And then you click unfreeze panes, which would be the very first drop down. Okay. So you click that. And then as easy as that, it has gotten rid of that frozen first row. Okay, so you can scroll through now and you don't see the headings anymore. Another way which you can actually do this as well is to, let's say you want to freeze like halfway down. So you don't want to freeze the very top row, for example. There might be a reason why you want to do this. So let's say when you get to June, you want to freeze from here. So you click under where you want it to be frozen from. So in this case, I'll just click here in this whole row. You highlight the whole row, you click it, and then you go back up to view and you click freeze panes. And there's the first drop down here that just says freeze panes. Whereas before you clicked freeze the top row. But we wanna just freeze a random row, okay? The one that we've highlighted. So you click this, and then this is where it will freeze from, you see? So you're scrolling through and it's frozen just above the point that you've um, asked to freeze the pane. Okay. So wherever you highlight, that's where it'll start to kind of freeze from. Okay. And again, if you want to get rid of this, you can click anywhere, it doesn't need to be on the row anymore. You can click anywhere in the Excel sheet and you just click unfreeze panes and it will get rid of it. Also, I remember someone came across this problem before where they were getting a line in their data and they didn't really know why. So when you freeze anything, so if I show you again, if we freeze the top row, it's kind of hard to see in this Excel, but when it freezes, it creates this kind of dark line across here. So if I just show you without the grid lines in Excel, you'll see what I mean. See? So you'll get this very faint gray line, which basically shows you that, look, this row is frozen and this is how Excel shows it. So when we get rid of it, it gets rid of that line. So I remember someone coming to me before being like, why is there this line in my data? I'm trying to take a snippet of it and the line is so, rubbish for presentations. So it's because someone has frozen the panes, okay? And that's just how it shows. So let's say you want to freeze down the other way. So from, you know, a column rather than a row. So for example, you might have lots of columns of data. Here I've just got four. So if I just, for the sake of this example, pretend I've got a really large data set, okay, like this, with loads of different columns with different numbers, not just the same column. But let's say you've got a data source like this. So you want to freeze both, um, or either, the top row, or you want to move across and be able to see something, see all the months, for example. So the exact same thing, if you want to freeze the column, you just go to freeze panes and it'll have it here. Freeze first column, whereas before you used freeze top row. So if you click freeze top uh, column, you can scroll across now and you can see the month as you scroll across or whatever your data set has. Again, to unfreeze that is the exact same way. You just click anywhere you want in your numbers and just click unfreeze panes, and there you go. And that's it. That's how you freeze your panes. You can also freeze, both ways this way as well if you wanted to. Um, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, sometimes you have to look at your data set because usually you can only kind of freeze one way or another. And there you go. That's how you freeze panes. Hopefully, this was useful for you guys. If you want any more tips on Excel, just comment below and I can make a video on that. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.